Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. In the year 303, the Emperor Diocletian issued a decree prohibiting Christians from coming together to worship, the first dramatic experience, it could be said, of both governmental interference in the liturgical life of the Church and enforced lockdown for Christians. A wave of persecution followed, with unsurprisingly acts of apostasy and cowardice, including from the clergy, the shepherds charged with the care of the flock. Yet fidelity and holiness were also present, along with the stories of failure. The story of the 49 Martyrs of Abintenae ought to be well known. Pope Benedict spoke of them in 2005, yet their witness, especially in these trying times, is a much-needed source of comfort and inspiration. Abitinae, in what is now Tunisia, was part of the North African Roman Empire. A year after the decree of Diocletian, 49 Christian men, women, and several small children were gathered on a Sunday to celebrate Mass in the house of one Octavius Felix. They were celebrating with their priest, Saturninus, breaking lockdown and defying the law. They were arrested and brought before the Roman proconsul, Anulinus. Pope Benedict drew particular attention to the words of one of the congregation when asked why he had broken the law, when that would mean certain death. The congregant, Emeritus, replied, "Sine Dominica non possumus." Without Sunday, it is not possible. He continued that as Christians, they would not have the strength to live for the rest of the week without gathering for the Eucharist on a Sunday, the Lord's Day, the day of recreation. All were executed and are martyrs. Reading the list of their names, including the 4 children of Saint Saturninus, one can't help getting the sense of looking at a list of parishioners from an average parish. There is Ampelius and Beninius, his infant son, Tellica and Quintus, Prima and Eva, ordinary people with heroic fidelity and fortitude who could not live without Sunday. The local bishop, Fundanus, had willingly obeyed the edict of Diocletian, even going so far as to voluntarily hand over the copy of the Scriptures to the authorities, a suitable role model for supine and cowardly episcopal weakness. Luckily, such things don't happen today, do they? Many of us have lived without Sunday for 3 months. There could be no doubt this has caused incalculable spiritual damage. We must return to worship with renewed vigour and discipline. I'm not alone in thinking that much of the division and violence we're seeing has spiritual causes. The devil has, it seems, been unleashed. St. Paul said, "We fight against principalities and powers. We will not have the strength without Sunday." The holy martyrs of Abitinae, the faithful 49, teach us profoundly by their lives, their recorded words during their trial, and their deaths. A Christian of the one holy Catholic and Apostolic faith cannot live without Sunday. While the preservation of our earthly lives and that of our families is certainly a good, it is not the highest good. Justice and charity would demand that we do not willingly put others in danger of catching a potentially deadly disease. Consequently, personal responsibility is of the essence. However, when the secular state prohibits worship, decrees, locks churches, and even, as some governments have attempted to do, decrees what may or may not happen within the liturgy itself, the martyrs of Abitinae tell us what must be resisted. The martyrs of Abitinae, rather like the modern martyrs of Syria, Iraq, and Nigeria, speak to us of what is truly essential, of what endures, and what must never be compromised. Their example is an inspiration, and their intercessory prayer for us is both a necessity and a gift.